All right, we got our manifest, we got our login activity. It's time to start populating our login activity with a view. So I'm going to override the onCreate method. I can do that by hitting Control O and typing in onCreate, then selecting the method that I would like to override. That's automatically going to call super for me, which I want to keep. The next thing I'm going to do is set the content view. We've talked about setting the content view in the past as the equivalent of being the point in iOS at which view did load is called. After set content view is called, the view is available for you to manipulate and get handles to the different items on the view as you choose. So here we're going to do set content view, and we need to come up with a layout ID. So I'm going to say r.layout.activity login. We're going to make a new layout for our login activity. Now here it's in red because we don't have that layout yet. I'm going to hit Option Enter, create layout resource file activity login.xml. I want that to be a constraint layout. I want the name to be activity login.xml. That all looks good, so I'm going to hit OK. Now I have my constraint layout. Let me get rid of my, so I'm going to add it to Git the way Android Studio prompts me to, and then I'm going to get rid of my menu over here so that I can show you stuff a little better. I'm going to make my view a little bit bigger, and I'm just going to focus mainly on the light theme for now. Okay, so now I've got this constraint layout, and I'd like to put some stuff on it. What I'd like to do is I'd like to put the canary icon, and then I want a line where you can insert your email, then I want a line where you can insert your password, and then I want a button that says login. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with an image view, which I'm going to drag on screen like that. And none of these are going to be the image I want. We're going to go and get the image I want. Come on. Let's choose that for now, just so it'll let us. There we go. So it gives us our image. It gives me an ID of image view. I don't need an ID for this because I don't need a handle for it in the code. The width and height are going to be wrap content for now. That's fine by me. And then the source is currently our drawable for the coping image. Then we have an absolute X and an absolute Y. I don't want that either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close off this tag right there, and I'm going to take out these two lines. Now it's going to appear in the upper left-hand corner because that's where stuff goes in Android when it doesn't have any constraints. I'm not worried about that yet. I want to get my source set up. So I want the logo to show up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for my IC Launcher foreground files. These files are created in Android Studio when I set up the image that I want to have appear in my icon on the home screen of the Android device. So I have a number of options here, you'll notice. The difference is the resolution. So you can tell the resolution by taking a look at the folder that each of these are in. I have HDPI, MDPI, XHDPI, XXH, and XXXH. So the M stands for medium density pixels, H is high density, XH is extra high, extra extra high, and extra 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 high. So I'm going to go into this one. This is the highest resolution. What I want to do is I want to copy this file. So I'm going to hit F5. And I'm going to have it named IC Canary inside of my application where I can get access to it to put it on my screens. Now, the thing is that I need to change where it's located. So it says Chelsea Troy / workspace, MPCS, blah, 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 app, source, main, res. Right now, it's going to put it inside of the mipmap XXXHDPI folder. That's not where I want it. Instead, I want it in my drawable folder. So I'm going to put it in the drawable folder. Do I want to add the file to Git? Yes, I do. Cool. So now I'm going to get rid of this side menu again so you can see things better. And then in my activity login.xml, I'm going to set my source to drawable IC Canary. Cool. Then I am going to constrain my view. I think I'm going to have to resync in order for it to get the image right. Let's take a look at exactly where we put the image just to make sure that everything looks the way I want it to look. Because I want this to be in the same place as I see pencil. Where is that at? App, source, main, resources, drawable, icpencil.png. Let's look at the whole project. Yeah, it's in the right spot. Okay. Okay. So, while that runs, let's go ahead and set up our constraints. I'm going to get rid of these two absolute X and absolute Y again. Oh, I see. Every time I move this, it puts that in. All right. So I'm going to add a constraint between this and the top. And then I'm going to add a constraint to the left side. I'm going to add a constraint. So now I've done the top, the left, and the right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say I want this thing to appear 40 dps from the top, 20 dps from the left, 20 dps from the right. Which will center it. I'm actually going to have that appear 60 down. All right. So now we've got our drawable on screen. And I'm going to get rid of my source compat right here because that's currently overriding the canary one. There we go. Cute. All right. So now the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to add our email like line. And so I'm going to go to text and I'm going to choose, let me get rid of this so you could see better. Email. Right here. So I'm going to drag this on screen. I'm going to constrain it to the bottom of my canary image. And then I'm going to constrain the right side to the view, to the parent view. I'm going to constrain the left side to the parent view. And I'm going to have it be 20 away on the left, 20 away on the right, and 10 down from the image. Great. Next, I want a password one, so I'm going to drag that on too. I'm going to constrain it to my email view. I'm going to constrain it to the parent on the right. I'm going to constrain it to the parent on the left. So I'm just clicking and dragging here. I don't have to press control or anything. And I want that to appear, let's say 20 down, 20 away from the edge on the left, 20 away from the edge on the right. Cool, that should line up with the one above it, and it appears to. So far, so good. Now, I want to add a button. So I'm going to go to buttons here, where I can choose items to drag onto my screen. I'm going to choose button. I'm going to drag it on. I'm going to constrain it to the view above it. Drag the left side to the left edge of the parent. Drag the right to the right edge of the parent. And I want that to appear 20 down again, 20 away from the left, and 20 away from the right. In practice, this is going to appear further away than that because currently I have its width set to wrap content, so it's only going to wrap the text that I put inside of this button. But those equal constraints are going to center the view. Cool. So So far, looks good. Let me set the Android text here. Instead of button, it's going to be sign in. And I know that I shouldn't hard code strings in Android, so I'm going to hit Option Enter, extract string resource. Yes. Now I've extracted that string resource, and I sort of have my view. Now, I think this image is a little bit big right now, so I'm actually going to make the margins on either side a little bit bigger, and that's going to make the image smaller. It's going to force the image down in size a little bit. Nice. Okay. So let's run our app and take a look. Building, building. How would it look? All right, yeah, I still don't like how big this image is, so I'm actually going to change that up here. First of all, I'm going to make the margin top 20, pull that up a little bit. And then I'm going to make the, let's see, how do I want to do this? So we can force it smaller, like so. But I wonder if it would make more sense to set the width and height here. So I'm going to set the width instead to, let's say, 100 dips. Yeah, 200. Because I want it to be noticeable, but right now it's like huge. There we go. And I'm going to set it 60 device pixels from the top. That looks better. I like that better. Okay, so let's see what we think of that. That's great. Okay, so now we can put in some stuff here. Did we set this to be a phone number? Let's take a look at our edit text real quick. It says input type number password. That's not what I want. I just want it to be password. Let's say text password. So now, instead of bringing up only the number keyboard, it should give me the full text keyboard. There. Okay, so I get the text keyboard, and then on the next one down, also the text keyboard. But you'll notice that as I put things in, it turns them into dots so that you can't see the full password. That's what a password text field should do. All right, that looks good.